showed that they could beat Korea yesterday. Some people felt like if Korea had gotten a little bit closer late in the game, they may have wavered, but they held on. And, you know, we know about Amargo, but Povea, and how about Marlon Cepeda? She was terrific. She had a double-double in points and rebounds.
Well, there's a core around Amargo, which has kind of come to the forefront. As you said, the big game from Cepeda yesterday, 16 points, 17 rebounds. Don't forget, as we look at the starting lineup, though, there's a number of players. Povea's had a big game. You know, she had double figures against Belarus. Gelis is, you know, gets to the line really well. Okindo as well. You know, Okindo had the huge first half in that loss against Belarus, where she had a double-double of 19 points and 10 rebounds.
Good news for Cuba is that Gelis is okay. She appeared to injure her ankle in the last game against Korea, but she's okay now. And here are the Serbians having their last warm-ups. Marina Malkovic, daughter of Bozidar Malkovic, the great Serbian coach. Of course, he coached Slovenia at Eurobasket 2013. Serbia, Radicaj really came to the floor and to the fore in the last game for Serbia.
Yeah, well, she's a great weapon that often comes off the bench. You know, we see the starting lineup, the Dabovic twins, sisters in the backcourt, along with Buhat Taliha, who's a defensive menace, and then the front court changes again for Serbia in the front court. Yvonne Rad today, you know, it's the third different person at that 5 position, so they've gone smaller. Very interesting to see then how they'll match up with the inside players from Cuba.
Well, Okindo and Dabovic are 2 players that we think will have a big part in tonight's game. Milica Dabovic has been pretty influential, and perhaps more for her defense than anything else for Serbia.
Well, that's the key. That's the key in this game for me. The Serbian defense. You know, they create a lot of offense from their defense. If you think this is the team that's number 3 in scoring in the tournament, as we see Coach Jabala, and I'm sure this is what he's going to be talking about. You know, Serbia score a lot of points, 80 a game they get, because they're number 1 in steals. They average 13 steals a game. They're turning that into around 21 points a game off of turnovers. It's Milica Dabovic, who's, when she's on the floor, she's a real free spirit. She tends to float around a lot, and that's where for Cuba, you know, they can either turn it into a real weapon, the fact that Dabovic is going to leave them open on the perimeter, or if they can't handle the pressure, it's going to be a real problem. So, you know, the point guards from Cuba, you've got Gelis, you've got Casanova. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it. They do have the personnel, though. You know, again, following with the statistics, Casanova 3rd in the tournament assists on limited numbers, so she is very good at finding Amargo, especially being open for the 3-point shot, and then Gelis usually does a good job looking after it and getting fouled and getting to the free throw line. Both of those 2 players are going to have to play well for Cuba.
Serbia!
Well, welcome back to the FIBA World Championship for women. It's Serbia and Cuba getting ready to tip it off here in Istanbul. And we're waiting on Milica Dabovic. She appears to have had a bloody nose or something. Or no, she's had her nose ring that she's had to remove. That's what it is. She's been informed by the referee. So nothing like being told you have to take your nose ring out right before the game to get you slightly distracted. But those are the rules. And Cepeda goes up against Milovanovic, and Cepeda wins the opening tip. Povea collected the ball. And Gelis, again, who had the ankle injury in the last game, she did come back and play against Korea, but she had to be helped off the floor. So we'll watch her. Now her pass inside to Amargo, and quickly Serbia come out, and Rad beats Cuba down the floor.
Well, going smaller means Serbia are very quick. They didn't get great finishing, you know, the other day out of Sarah Kurnic, who was the starting center. So they're going to go with Rad. You know what an impact she had at Eurobasket in the later stages of that competition last year.
Cepeda tries to work against Milovanovic. She gives it over to Povea, and I said, she may be the most automatic shooter from that range in this tournament.
Well, I think Marina Malkovic's plan is to take that away by going smaller, have people, more used to guarding the perimeter.
Ana Dabovic, she goes up, knocks it down.
Solid start offensively from Serbia. Dabovic making the play, turns the corner on the screen very easily indeed.
Pavea hands it off to Gellis, and Gellis draws the contact.
Gellis, the #2 ranked player for fouls drawn in this competition. She does get to the line a lot. We talked in the other games about her struggles from the field. She kind of, got through that a little against Korea, where she did hit a 3, but before that she was just 1 of 17 in her opening 2 games from the field.
Gellis into the lane, puts it up and in. Well, she hasn't been able to finish a lot of those, but she has finished on that one. But quickly again, Serbia, and it's given Cuba and their coach Alberto Zavala something to think about. It's almost as if it's like, oh wow, they're coming down at us quickly here. And Gellis does get it over, but turns it over into the hands of Milovanovic. And Gellis got away with not giving away a 3-point play opportunity.
That's Serbia's lifeline right there. That's what they do. The pressure from Milica Dabovic. She tipped it away. Gellis was able to recover, but then as Dabovic continued to put on the pressure, when she was beaten, the help came, they rotated, and Milovanovic read the pass.
First one is good, so strong start here for, see Radicaj looking on. Strong start for Serbia, 25 years of age, Milovanovic. Second one is good, and some more full court pressure. How long will it be before we see Casanova check into the game? Wallace turns away from the double team, makes the pass, she did well that time. Now Okindo, Milovanovic fell down. Cepeda has the ball, and the second foul, Milica Dabovic. No, first foul, Milica Dabovic.
Number 13 on the
first one,
Ana
Dabovic.
And team second.
So a total of 2 fouls on the Dabovic's. Dabovic's. Spit that out. Gellis looks inside. Okindo. She is wrapped up. Cepeda quickly, and Pavea has to hurry. She gets it off in time. Cepeda gets the rebound.
Cepeda's a great rebound. The production offensively they got from her in the last game, the 19 points was a huge bonus, but...
And Gellis drives right down, and this time goes back to her old ways of missing the layup.
I'm saying the extra points from Cepeda's big, but they need those from Gellis. If she's going to get to the ring, she must finish.
And foul called on Margot, playing defense out on the perimeter.
The biggest knock on Margot for me is her tendency to get into foul trouble with cheap calls like that one. At least Dabovic isn't really going anywhere. Ana Dabovic is on the perimeter. It's her first dribble. She's not been beaten, but Margot's going to pick up a cheap foul very early in this game.
Milovanovic from behind the arc, short, and Gellis just fell down. He was able to get rid of it and get away from Milica Dabovic. I think Cuba are aware quite clearly of the strength that you spoke about, because they are getting rid of it quickly when they come into double teams, or at least they're trying to, and they're turning away from them. And a foul called. No, kick. A kick on Milovanovic. Saw the referee coming over to the scores table. Gellis over to Margot. There you go.
Margot actually had her worst offensive production in the last game. Showed a lot more versatility in the half court, coming off screens, even getting to the ring off the dribble as well. So traditionally, first 2 games we saw her purely as a spot-up shooter.
Dabovic, now Butalia, and Okindo gets to the ball first, and Cuba up ahead to Margot. What a pass from Gellis. And kind of beats the Serbians at their own game that time. And now Milovanovic, though, gets back. So a lot of fast break baskets, especially by Serbia. Now quickly, Gellis, 3-on-2. Amargo for 3. Good. Well,
and that's what Amargo can do, like I said, especially in transition. And this is where if Serbia are going to gamble, the opportunity will be there for Cuba. The problem they've got at the moment is they've got to get back in defensive transition.
Well, that was a 2-pointer, not a 3. So it's a tie game right now. Butalia gets in there and gets the rebound. And Dabovic gets inside. And Pavea couldn't hold on to it. It was interesting that time that Cepeda didn't move over to help out on the penetration.
I mean, I think they need to do that. The last time the rotation was pretty good. They rotated and allowed the ball to go into the hands of Butaliha, which, you know, she's probably the worst three-point shooter in this Serbian lineup at the moment. She's shooting just 22% from beyond the line. You'd much rather she gets it on the reversal than, say, Ana Dabovic or even Milovanovic.
Well, Rad puts it off the rim, and Milovanovic gets the rebound. Cepeda tries to keep Milovanovic away from the basket. Milovanovic comes in and fouls Cepeda. She had her shot, swiped at her. Watch this. Cepeda lowered her hands, and then saw Milovanovic come from behind.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. She just slapped the wrist as she was trying to fight for the rebound.
Cepeda had 17 rebounds against Korea yesterday. Gellis back outside to Akindo and gets inside, puts up the runner. Cepeda keeps it alive. So even when she doesn't get the rebound, she's up there keeping it for Cuba. They're helping them keep it. Now Margo crashes the boards, and Ana Dabovic collects it and dribbles down the floor. She passes to her sister, Malicha. Butalia. And she's fouled by Gellis. 2 shots.
Another breakdown in fouling from Cuba. Look at that wide reaching. If you're Gellis, you know, Butaliha's reaching. She's stretching, trying to get to the ring. She's not a huge scorer for Serbia. And you've got to say, let her go, see if she can get the score. This is where Serbia get very good, in my opinion. And the guards come in as well. You know, we've seen Tamara Radicaj and how good she's been, averaging 12 points per game. She's actually the 3rd leading scorer, despite the fact she comes off the bench.
Ivanovic comes in as well. And also Ajikovic, Dijana Ajikovic, number 11. Casanova comes in for Cuba. So she spells Gellis.
Casanova's the one that's got to handle the pressure now. You know, Radicaj and Jovanovic don't perhaps gamble as much as the Dabovic sisters when they're on, but they're still going to pressure the ball, try and turn up that tempo. Here they come.
Margo gets it to Casanova. And Casanova, no problem getting it past midcourt.
You see, they're going to get into a set. Only 10 seconds on the clock already.
Well, Pavea's up, open, and bottoms, so she can even score off the dribble. Yeah. She is automatic. Foul called against Cepeda. Well, Pavea came in shooting 63% from the floor. So he's doing a pretty good job. Not 100%, but many people are. Penetrates back outside the Rad. And Casanova knocks it away, tried to chase it down. Now Radicaj and Pavea commits the foul. Nope, the travel is called. And Marina Malkovich doesn't like that call at all. She's talking to the referee, Zavala. You can see him issuing some instructions. So Radicaj with the travel, and Cuba with a chance to go in front. Oquindo over to Amargo. She drives in, and Ajikovic stood her ground. Now Oquindo for 3, and Amargo did a good job of passing it outside to the 3-point shooter. Now Casanova's turn to harass the point guard. Well, Cuba showing some confidence here against the Serbians. And double dribble, the call against Adjikovic.
One cheerleader is up again on the side. You know, Coach Dabalo is out there cheering, celebrating some good defense in his team. It's a confident start from Cuba, as you said. And, you know, this gambling Serbian defense again. You see Putali leave her player, try and read the steal, and it left open Okindo for the shot.
Okindo being guarded by Kato. Kato's just come in. Now Casanova. And off of Okindo's hands. Radicai tries to get in, but passes back out to Kato. And Kato gets swatted by Pavea. There were some quick hands from Cuba all the way. Both right when Kato takes off there and then here.
You've got to be able to protect the ring against Serbia because they will try and break you down off the dribble. You know, Davidovic is...
And they couldn't inbound it. Pavea steals it. And maybe Pavea a little bit out of control there. Would have been better served to pull it out. Ivanovic. Serbia had a chance to watch Cuba play last night after their game. And Casanova picks up a foul out on the perimeter. That's number 5 to free throws for Serbia, who trail 15-12.
Yeah, I said you've got to guard the perimeter, or you've got to protect the paint against Serbia because they've got so many people. Radicai, you know, both Dabovic sisters, even Milovanovic, who will get to the ring off the dribble. If you don't do a good job of keeping them to the perimeter, it's going to be a long night. Cuba have done well, but unfortunately they've picked up fouls doing it. You know, they're in the bonus now, and Serbia relentless in trying to attack you and put the pressure on the defense.
Well, Casanova now quickly across midcourt. She is much tougher, I think, to trap in that backcourt than Gellis. And foul on Kato for holding.
Okindo gave it the nod to the referee. Referee blew the window. Okindo just, you know, nodded out and said, "Yep,
the seal of
that's right. Yeah, absolutely." Said, "Yeah, she did foul me."
Rad comes out of the game and Markovic checks in. Markovic is on Pavea. And entry to Cepeda. Tough move for Cepeda. Just right around Adjikovic.
Cepeda, you know, isn't known as a scorer really, but these last 2 games you can see confidence building.
Radicai left her feet and got it back now. Here she is again, gets in the lane, this time puts it up and a little bit too hard. Goes off the rim and a jump ball is called.
That's what we talk about when you say protecting the paint. Radicai penetrates, nearly has a layup on the first possession for Markovic. Brings it back out and then goes again. Does get all the way to the ring. She won't miss many of those. She's a leader in field goal percentage. Radicai.
Adjikovic gets inside. She misses. Well, basket has a lid on it right now for Serbia and Cuba.
Margo's open on that weak side. They've got to be careful. Serbia. They pass a little wayward.
Casanova just takes it all the way, and Cepeda there for the rebound, puts it up and draws the foul.
Again, the threat of Amargo on that far side was what really created the shot, because as Casanova comes off the bench, she's waiting for Jovanovic to help so she can kick to get it to Amargo for a 3. Jovanovic doesn't come, she has to stay at home, so we go all the way to the ring.
17-13, Cuba on top, timeout.
Prva četvrtina. Gubimo. Ako značajno ne promenimo čvrstinu.
Well, Serbia's players look on. They're trailing 17-13, and if you look at the percentages and everything else, Cuba 7-15. They've hit the three-pointer. It's looking pretty good for them offensively, and Serbia haven't really been able to disrupt them maybe as much as they thought they would have.
It's a frustrating start for Serbia. You can see that from the fact that, you know, Coach Malkovic has already called a timeout here with not a lot of time left in this first quarter. And the fact that she's gone to the bench so early, you know, 10 players have seen the floor for Serbia already. You think back to the US game where she literally made one substitution the whole of the first half. So before the timeout, I said, you know, the threat of Amargo meant that Casanova could turn the corner, and when she couldn't finish, it was because the presence of Adjikovic to come across and try and challenge the shot. But what that leaves is Cepeda, who's a great offensive rebound under the basket, not being marked, to clean up.
Radicai loses control up ahead to Akindo, and here comes Akindo in Cuba. Well, good start for Cuba to this game. Ivanovic. And Serbia perhaps a little shaken by the FIBA Americas Championship winners last year.
In the zone, good match up with the shooters.
Kato hits a three and stops the bleeding. Well, we've got a real humdinger here right now in the Abdi Apechi. Kato's first 3 points.
Same play from Cuba.
Casanova over to Akindo. Into Cepeda. And boy, that was a tough shot. She took the contact from Markovic, but still went up and scored with her left hand.
Beautiful finish, Cepeda.
She just keeps getting better and better. 6 points, 4 rebounds. Jovanovic right at the line. And Okindo grabs the board. And right at the end of the quarter is not enough. So 23-16, Cuba have come out and, shall we say, pulled a little bit of a surprise against Serbia.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here comes on the stage, Radio Riga House, B1 Nasty.
Well, Cuba shooting 9 of 17, 53% inside the arc. And really, they've just been better so far. Both teams equal on the boards. You see that Cuba's sharing the ball just a little bit better as well. Each team has a couple of steals.
As you said, Cuba, the better team so far. They really have been. They've shot the ball, they've looked after it, they've got out in transition, they've handled the pressure from Serbia well. And if you take away the fact that Serbia, you know, 8 points on the break, they really in the half court have not yet got going.
Question for me, you know, I'm wondering is Cuba seemed to be growing in the tournament here. You know, have we seen the best of Serbia? Obviously, it's early in the game. It's only the first quarter, but the more Cuba plays, and just how much has their confidence grown from that single win against Korea? And they know they should have probably beaten Belarus, and they let them get out of jail. They weren't very impressive at all against Australia. But you're looking at a Cuba team that won the FIBA Americas Championship for women last year.
The Cuba team, as we've said, growing in confidence. I think, you know, Cepeda is the one really to look at with that. 6 points, 4 rebounds, and this one, you know, we talked about that she is a big offensive threat, but you've got to consider this is a player. She averaged just 5 a game in the FIBA Americas last year.
Well, Radicai is going to stay in the game, and Milica Dabovic and Ana Dabovic are back in at the FIBA World Championship for women. It's the second quarter action underway with Cuba leading 23-16 in what has to be considered a mild upset so far. Amargo from the arc. And Radicai chases down the rebound. Inside to Milovanovic, but she pulls it back out. Now she's going to go back in and put up the short jumper. Okindo goes inside and rebounds it. She gets away from Dabovic. Now, and Pavea, oh, she missed. She was short on that one. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a change. Dabovic beats the Cuban defense, but Pavea hustles back and gets the swat.
Recovery from Pavea. You know, it was a poor shot on the offensive end. She didn't dwell on the mistake. She got back. This recovery from her, clean block.
And that's the point. You make a great point. She didn't dwell on it. She didn't complain. Look, she's got 2 blocks. She hustled back and made a play. And good rebound for Cuba. Now Casanova 1-on-3. What will she do? Oh, she's going to make a quick pass that Adjikovic read. And now quickly again to Dabovic. And this time, no Pavea, no Cuban was able to come back and defend. Casanova catches, streaks up the floor. Cuba have numbers, but they bring it back out.
So with the substitution, Avila's kind of come into the game. She sets that screen. She's a good 3-point shooter, the number 15. I don't know where she is if you're Serbia.
Beautiful bounce pass from Avila. And Amargo, was in a beautiful position. The ball, fortunately for Cuba, fell to Cepeda.
Cepeda took 22 shots in 6 games in the FIBA Americas last year. And now, all of a sudden, she's become an offensive juggernaut for the Cubans.
Well, 8 points, 5 rebounds. Dabovic. Another Dabovic. And the referees are just going to try to call timeout here and calm things down. The referee is talking to Adjikovic, telling her to come over and calm things down because she was getting into it with Cepeda. Watch this. Well, in a way, it's more Cepeda there boxing out and using her elbow, but it's not the first time that we've seen Adjikovic get an elbow in that area in this tournament. Casanova. And Gellis penetrates and scores.
Oh, she's got the penetration. She's got jets, doesn't she? From the perimeter, Gellis, real quick from standstill, but she's got the finish as well.
And great defense from Gellis. Knocks it away. Casanova. And over in the corner to Avila for 3. She overshot it and into the hands of Butalia. Milovanovic. And she got some space that time and knocks it in. Avila almost committed a violation there. She was able to pass it to Casanova. Can Cuba maintain this good start? Or will Serbia rattle them? Casanova drives and puts it up too hard. So Romero will come in for Casanova. But you see Dabovic get inside. It's a 3-point play opportunity.
It's a beautiful transition basket. And Dabovic there, no hesitation inside out before the crossover. Sells a defender. Watch that. You know, Akindo just moves to the left slightly, and that's all the space that Dabovic needs. You know, they need to get her in the game a bit more for me, Serbia. We saw what a devastating player she can be in one-on-one situations against the Americans. You know, she's got 6 points here, but hasn't really been in the game too much.
Well, violation there. So 1 shot. Was there a violation, or did they just make it clear?
No, someone was in early for Cuba, okay. So she got it again, yeah.
So Serbia now just down by 2. And Gellis over to Avila, passes it up and comes in and doesn't have the golden shooting touch that she displayed yesterday. Back to Romero. Now Romero pulls up and she bricks one as well. Milovanovic. And turns it over. She ran into the Cuban defender and fumbled the ball away. Krnjic also into the game for Serbia.
Avila is going to pick and pop here. You got to be careful of her threat.
Avila. And just can't get it to go yet. Sushitel, Avila. And Cepeda commits the foul.
Again, foul though. Cepeda's been brilliant. 8 points, 5 rebounds, and she's going to pick up her second foul out by the halfway line when she's got defenders back. It's not like Anna Dabovic has got a wide open layup. She's trying to stop. You know, it's a cheap foul to give away. She's going to have to take a blow now, and it may impact her performance and her minutes on this game going forward.
That's right. And it was a foul that she committed maybe because she was tired and she didn't want to get back and play defense.
Mistakes like that, you know, they will come back to hurt you, or they could come back to hurt you.
Noblet has come in and Pavea has returned as well. Putalia gives it to Milovanovic. And Akindo is fouled. Sorry, Akindo fouled Milovanovic. I think with her, not so much the block, but the reach.
She picks up 2 now. So Gellis, Akindo, and Cepeda, 3 real key players for Cuba, already have 2. Amargo's going to come back in. She's got 1 as well, and there's always a danger to pick up another cheap one. So Serbia, this is where, you know, they are really good because they don't stop. They go at you, they go at you, they go at you over and over again. They really are an aggressive team.
Oh, good defense from Gellis. She reached in and knocked it away from Milovanovic. Now Romero makes the pass to Gellis, who wisely holds it up. Now she gets into the lane, kind of lost it, but into the hands of Amargo. Boy, that was good fortune.
Yeah. This is what I said about, you know, we talked at the start, the Serbian gambling. If it's going to leave Amargo free, she will have a big game. That's what she wants to do, just catch and shoot.
Well, the handoff, Kurdzic couldn't hold on to it, and Cuba beat Serbia to the ball. They finally pick it up.
Kurdzic has got to finish that opportunity. She's not ready, she's not expecting it, loses it. Yesterday we saw her, you know, miss a couple of close ones as well.
Gellis over to Pavea. Pavea passes it up, then she's not as comfortable, I think, on the move like that. The last 2 times down the floor, Serbia's bigs have had the ball knocked away. This time it's Dabovic, and she's able to finish.
She's starting to take over a little now, the offense for the Serbians. 3 offenses in a row for her. You know, the last time she hits Kurnic wide open, she couldn't handle the pass. This time she goes to the ring, score and the foul, all off the pick and roll. You know, how are Cuba going to guard it? For me, you know, flood the drive from Anna Dabovic and leave Kurnic rolling wide open.
Well, again, they were in too early. I think it's because she kind of hesitates before she releases the shot. So now it's a 1-point game. And Gellis gets it to Romero. And she passes to Noblet. Well, they've prepared for the full court pressure well. Noblet tries to set a pick, but Romero goes the other way. But Dabovic reaches in, takes it away.
And that pass was a couple of inches off from being a 3-point shot from Amargo. And instead of it being a catch and shoot wide open, it's a turnover.
Milovanovic looked to make the pass. Instead drives in and puts Serbia back in front, 30-29. Now quickly, Gellis and Cuba, beautiful bounce pass. And Pavea was fouled, so she'll have free throws. Gellis has played well overall. Beautiful pass. Look at that. And here's Milovanovic.
So Serbia have just, you know, some individual players of the highest quality to go to. Milovanovic, shot clock winding down. She's off balance, fainting away with a hand in her face, yet she can still make the shot.
Romero out of the game now. And Casanova has come back into the game. Just 1 of 2.
Ended with a nearly 3-minute drought for...
Well, Putalia is able to beat the Cuban defense. I thought Casanova was going to step over and help, but she just let her go. Gellis goes baseline, And again, fumbles it away, and this time Casanova can't pick it up with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Timeout on the floor. Here's another look at Gellis's fumble. In fact, Casanova kicked it out of bounds. 32-30, Serbia on top. Points in the paint, 10 of 18 for Serbia, 7 of 18 for Cuba. A lot of fast breaks, fast break points, 10 fast break points for Serbia and 6 for Cuba.
It's been a 12-3 run in the last 3.5 minutes in favor of Serbia, which has just got them back in the game, really. They have the lead now. Not that long ago, there was a double-digit lead, I believe, for Cuba. 8 got up to as the high.
Rebounds 19-15 in favor of Serbia. And that doesn't help Cuba to have Cepeda off the floor with the 2 fouls. I think against Serbia, they're not quite as potent without Cepeda on the floor with Noblet.
And they've also got Akindo on the bench as well. So if you remember, when those 2 went out, it really is probably about the same time the run started for Serbia.
(32-30). Ana Dabovic starting to take over offensively here for Serbia. Now Karanjic goes to work against Noblet and had a good shot, but doesn't convert. Casanova to Margot. She just needs a little bit of space, and she's going to put it up.
So if you don't pick her up, she really can. She loves to shoot in transition. You've seen that first couple of games, she just got going for a spell.
But Milica Dabovic answers for Serbia. 35-32. Noblet. Amargos was a 2 and not a 3. And now the miss gives Serbia a chance to extend the lead even more. Dabovic gets in, and Gellis commits the foul. And that is going to be number 3 on Gellis.
She's got to learn. It's the same thing she tried to do a second ago. Positioning is pretty good, and then the last second, watch, there come the hands trying to steal the ball. You're not going to take it from Ana Dabovic. She's very good. She's got it on her left hip. The body's in front of the ball. You're not going to be able to take it or knock it away from her. You've got to keep your hands out, because now Gellis has 3. She's going to have to go out, surely.
And the assistant coach, as Dabovic takes the second, the assistant coach of Cuba just told Zabala that Gellis has 3 fouls, so he's gambling, keeping his starting point guard out on the floor, and she's just able to give it to Amargo, who tapped it, and Casanova corralled it. 8 seconds, 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Oh, beautiful play from Amargo. But Serbia quickly to the other end, and it goes to Butalia, and that time their fast break worked against them. She took a bad shot. But Butalia needs to get back and play defense, because Gellis puts up the jumper and scores.
And that's why Gellis needs to be on the floor. They've had a lot of time with the 2-point guards, her and Casanova, because of the pressure, and it's working for them.
I don't know why Butalia didn't stop her. She was there in plenty of time.
Number 5.
Foul on Cuba again. Casanova, she picks up her second. Oquindo is going to come back in. So Gellis comes out with the 2 fouls with 1.5 minutes to go. And here's Gellis hitting the jumper. Milica Dabovic and Marina Malkovic, the wheels are turning inside that mind of how to combat this Cuban team. Now, Milica Dabovic has 6 points. Her sister Anna has 11, and so Milica has 7 points. Butalia comes out, Kato comes back in. Casanova over to Noble. And Caldo comes right in and commits the foul. So it's number 2 on Serbia. They don't look like they're in any danger at all of getting into the bonus. Amargo. Pavea usually takes that shot, and then she goes. It looks like Serbia would much rather her put the ball on the floor and go to the basket. Cepeda's going to come in here at the end of the first half. Dabovic dribbles behind her back. Gets into the lane, puts it up, and misses the layup. Pavea slowed by Dabovic. Casanova slowed and turns it over. And really, that's the first time I can remember Casanova not doing well against the press. And all of a sudden, the press starting to have an impact. Now Pavea takes it across. 3-on-2, she's going to pull it up. Ooh, she almost moved the pivot. So Serbia, if they can play defense and rebound, they'll get another possession. Pavea puts up, and that time missed. And Amargo picks up her 3rd foul. Her 2nd foul, sorry, with 14.3 seconds remaining. And Serbia are in the bonus. So much better for Serbia here at the end. You see the pressure leads to the basket for Dabovic, who now has 13 points. Here it is again.
And these fouls from Cuba, they're breakdowns, they're mental mistakes. And for me, when to foul and how to foul is a massive part of basketball nowadays. You know, stopping at the fast break, fouling people when they've beaten you, and not fouling them when they're going to be shooting a low percentage shot, or in situations like that where you're just giving them an opportunity to score.
Amargo gets a little bit of space, puts it up, and that was great. They didn't wait around until the last couple of seconds, and we've seen it happen so many times. Dabovic does get it off in time, but it's short. But that's one of their main plays. Casanova getting up quickly to Amargo, and a little bit of the momentum comes back to Cuba there at the end. Here it is, Amargo uncorking a 3-pointer, and from the side, Amargo goes to 15 points, a game-high 15 points, as Cuba pulled to within 42-39 at halftime.
It's going to be a finely tuned second half, this one.
Oh, there's Amargo 3-pointers, and for Cuba, 2-6 for Serbia. Each team with 5 steals. Not too much separating these two teams right now. 12 fouls for Cuba to 7 for Serbia, so that is a problem for the Cubans. And Amargo has the 15 points, Ana Dabovic 13, Sister Milica with 9. So it's halftime, it's Serbia 42, Cuba 39. The winner will advance to the quarterfinals to play Turkey.
Yeah, you come. First you come, okay. I need one more from Cuba. Is there anyone else from Cuba? Who is from Cuba? Not Turkey. Cuba. I don't see it. You come. Cuba.
Number 13 on this number. FIBA Basketball.
No, one more time, kids. Come on. You can do that. Oh, no, no. Thank you very much, Kate. You also stay here. And the third one from Cuba. What is your name? Where are you from?
Gabriela.
From?
Cuba.
Cuba. Applause for Gabriela from Cuba. We have 3 times. No, one more time. Where are you, Cuba? I don't hear you. Cuba, are you here? Good. One more time. Last time for Cuba. Oh, no, thank you very much. You stay also here. And the last one. What is your name? Where are you from? From England. From? England. Mike from England. That was for Mike. No, Mike, one more time. One more time for Mike from England. A bit closer we can come. Last time, best time, Mike. Oh no. So we have only one winner from Serbia. Not Serbia, from Belarus, but she's one of Serbia. So but we will all give them all 3 t-shirts and of course hats and bags. Thank you very much. Please give me applause for Serbia, Cuba, Russia and England. Thank you. Now also you can get t-shirts from our mascots. Call them, give a big applause for mascots, and they're gonna give you t-shirts. Mascot t-shirt hediyelerinizi alabilirsiniz. Call our mascots, give a big applause, and get your Cuba. Give some noise. Give an applause for our FIBA Basket. Thank you very much. Teşekkürler.
Well, the Abdi Apeche in Istanbul is where Serbia are leading Cuba 42-39 in the qualifications for the quarterfinals. A knockout game that's new to this year's FIBA World Championship for women to the system of competition. It's the winners of the 4 groups went straight through to the next round. And one of those group winners was host Turkey. And Turkey are watching this game because they will play the winner. And to be honest, right now, it's too close to call. If there's any advantage right now that Serbia have, you'd have to say it's the fact that Cuba have a little bit of foul trouble. Gelis, the point guard, has 3 fouls. Casanova, Amargo, Cepeda, and Oquindo all have, or each have 2 fouls. It's not a disaster for Cuba, but at the same time, Cuba, you know, can perhaps be a little bit careless giving away their fouls, as you pointed out, Lloyd.
Well, the problem with the fouls for Cuba is the fact that, you know, the only person that has scored and doesn't have at least 2 fouls is Pavea. You know, Cuba only have 5 players that have scored in this game, and they've all got at least 2 fouls. So, or 4 of the 5 have 2 fouls. That's why it's a problem. And then Casanova, who's, you know, one of the biggest impacts off the bench for them, she's also got the 2. So, you know, it's not a deep Cuban team. They need players like Amargo, who's been absolutely brilliant in this first half. They need them all playing at the best of their abilities to continue to stay close to Serbia and make this game going deep into the 4th quarter.
Well, I saw Marina Malkovic at halftime, and she looked just as she does there right now. She never changes her facial expressions, ever. She even said hello as if you were passing her on the street. I mean, it was incredible. (42-39), Serbia leading Cuba here in the battle for a quarter-final place. Remember, Serbia lost their first 2 games at the Eurobasket last year and looked like they were going out of that competition early, but they rallied to beat Latvia, and then they went on a tear in France and got to the semifinals. They beat Italy in a real thriller, and that got them here to the FIBA World Championship for women. Cuba, on the other hand, got here by winning the FIBA Americas Championship for women. And now they're trying to make the most of that opportunity. Dabovic, Anna Dabovic, well, she finished the 2nd quarter strong, and she starts the 3rd quarter strong.
She's been very good, hasn't she? We've seen how brilliant she can be against the Americans, but 6 of 7 from 2-point range now.
Cepeda battling inside. Oh, she's tough in there on the rebounds, and she just kept it alive for her teammate, Pavea, to get it. Now Casanova pulls up and drills the jumper.
Casanova's a distributor, but she showed in the last game she can make the pull-up jumper when she needs to.
Dabovic was dribbling, lost it. Rad picked it up and drives in. So Rad starting again in the 2nd half. Perhaps the surprise starter in the 1st. And Casanova slipped. And looks like she may have hurt her knee a little bit. Milica Dabovic, though, drives in and misses the layup. And a break for Cuba.
Absolutely. I was just thinking this is what Serbia do. They speed you up, you know. Casanova has an open look, but she missed it. Serbia comes straight back, get to the ring, and I think, oh, there you go. The 4-point swing, but Milica Dabovic misses the layup.
And now Amargo's pass to Pavea. It was out of bounds. And perhaps cracks starting to show a little bit here in the Cuban attack.
Well, they did a great job, just 6 turnovers in that first half. You know, when you consider that Serbia, #1 in steals, averaging 13 steals a game. It shows you how good with the ball Cuba were, but another foul. 3rd on Oquindo.
We talked about the foul trouble. And now Zabala has the decision to make, and he can't have the hand checking. Rad. She attacks the basket and goes up strong. Well, I thought she would be a key player for Serbia coming into this tournament, but I thought it would be from her 3-point shooting. But today, she's been going hard to the basket. Amargo. And ball goes out of bounds over to Serbia. Now lead it by 7.
In the game for Cuba.
Noblet is going to enter the game for Pavea. And also we're going to see, interestingly, Galindo come into the game for Oquendo.
Galindo's only played in one game. That was the big loss to Australia. She played 10 minutes in that one. So we don't really know much about her in this tournament. See if she can help the team.
Davidovic trying to get inside. They have to settle for a Milovanovic 3, and Amargo did a good job of boxing out Budalia.
Amargo's trailing. Got to pick her up. Davidovic does.
Offensive foul called on Cepeda. Now that is number 3 on her as she fights for position.
It's a good call, and again the foul's really starting to rack up now. You know, they can continue to play here, but if they keep going this fourth quarter, Cuba really, they're not going to have the quality left on the floor.
Rad. Well, definitely the three-point shot really not working for her right now. And Cuba are just about hanging in there.
I'm not hot on my Serbian swear words, but I'm pretty sure if you just come out of Rad's mouth on her way back there, she screamed to the heavens.
Well, she's missed all 3 of her shots from the arc. Ooh. And that was a tough shot taken right off the bench from Galindo. And Amargo is strong. You would think right now that Amargo is the player that has to come off a screen and try to get something for Cuba, but instead it's going to be Casanova, and she's fouled by Milovanovic.
Number 9, Jelena Milovanovic. Second personal foul against Japan.
A little bit of a break for Cuba, but they don't seem to have an idea offensively what they want to do right now.
No, they don't, and that's the problem with the fouls. You know, Amargo really, she likes to spot up. Oquendo is such a key in the half-court offense because she's multi-talented. She can shoot. She's very aggressive off the dribble. And of course, there's no Gellis on the floor because she's also got the 3 fouls, and she's the one often late in the shot clock that can break people down, get to the foul line.
Interesting. Oh, pass right into the hands of Noblet. She should have passed to Casanova, but instead Galindo threw it right into the hands of the defender. And that could get Galindo out of the game. And a foul called on Galindo for the hand check. For the hold. And Gellis is going to come in for Galindo.
I think Radicaj might come in very soon for Serbia. The way these fouls are mounting up, the game's going to be made for her. And the way she attacks. See if she can get going offensively because she hasn't done anything. 6 minutes, hasn't scored a field goal.
Milovanovic was short. Now, a chance possibly for Cuba. Nope, to run. Casanova was looking up the floor. Well, Serbia have gone a little bit cold offensively all of a sudden. It's allowing Cuba to stay close. And Milica Davidovic has pushed, picked up a foul. There's definitely contact. Leah back out of the game. Ivanovic re-enters. And Gellis gets it to Noblet. Back to Gellis. And Gellis. Oh, beautiful pass from Gellis. And you can see how her lightning quickness gives them opportunities. And Milica Davidovic, Serbia, in a little bit too much of a rush there. Davidovic claiming that Casanova pushed her. Now Gellis over to Casanova. And Casanova drives in, misses, but now the rebounding Cepeda, and you can feel Cuba coming back into it. And it's interesting with Gellis and Casanova, their quickness. They are just probably the 2 quickest players on the court.
Yeah, and it means that they can break the pressure. They can get to the basket as well in the half court where they need something to happen.
Brad comes out of the game. Krnjic comes in.
Yeah, has to try and secure the rebounding.
Gellis to Cepeda. Out to Amargo. Good patience, but Margaret can't make the jumper. Noblet kept it alive. Good job from Noblet. Now Krnjic. The ball kind of bounced to her. Dabovic goes straight to the basket. Back outside to her sister. Dabovic for three. And the box out from Gellis. And that's textbook right there.
Strong start for Cuba to this third quarter. You know, the worries he had.
Well, they were a little bit out of sync, but they seem to have, and again, it's because Serbia have kind of lost their way offensively.
Yeah, 100% agree. But the difference is it's because they haven't got anything from their defense.
Cepeda now gets it back to one. Gellis has to be careful with the hand checking as well. She's got the 3 fouls.
And Margot's going to pick it up.
Margot now with another foul. There's 3 fouls on Margot. Yamada on Margot.
Here comes Radkai as well. So the fouls are racking up, and somebody's going to have to guard the Serbian number 4, who tortures defenders on a good day, let alone, you know, when you've got 3 fouls.
Well, it's just a 1-point game. That's the good news for Cuba. And the bad news is they've got foul trouble. Now it's a 3-point game. Yeah, well, they can't come out and guard her like that. She just goes up and scores over Dabovic. She's having her best game offensively of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, finishing has been a different level to what we've seen so far from her in this tournament.
Radicai gets inside, puts up a tough shot, but he's blocked by Cepeda. If there's one thing you know about that area right around the basket, if Cepeda is anywhere close, that's her house. And you don't take it inside of her house. She's either rebounding, blocking shots, as well as Pavea.
2 seconds on the clock for Serbia to get it away.
And now Oquendo with the rebound, and Casanova quickly looks up the floor. Nobody is up there. The bigs were trailing, not quite as quick as the guards. Now Casanova hands it to Cepeda, and Cepeda almost got the roll
off the top of the backboard. It was a great feed from Casanova, the lob over the top.
Second foul on Butalija. Well, it really looked like they were on the verge of losing the plot completely, and somehow, it's like you said, Serbia, their defense hasn't been able to generate any offense for them.
You know, the perseverance again. We saw it in the last game. China struggled for 3 quarters. Didn't come alive until the 4th, and now, you know, Cuba went through that bad spell and stuck at it and recovered.
And now they're back in front. And now they're putting a little pressure on Serbia, even though they have the foul trouble.
Radicai's passive.
Well, she puts up at the line. Butalija gets the rebound. Zabala shouting instructions.
Coming to a zone, Cuba now. That's why. Perhaps have the outside threat, Serbia.
Butalija drives in. Oh, that's a tough play from Butalija. She gets in there, and it's an and 1. And who is the foul on? 4th foul on Cepeda. So that, and just as I was saying that you don't want to challenge her in there, that's exactly what Butalija does. And the problem was Cepeda got the foul for the reach. And I'm not sure that Zabala knows it.
No, he does. He just said to her, that's 4 fouls, and he's going to leave her there. Terrible turnover. Noble has Casanova right next to her. I don't know what she was thinking, trying to throw a long pass.
Well, Pavea is going to come back in for Noblet after that pass.
Serbia need to go at Cepeda. She can't do anything defensively.
Well, she did get her hand up.
Except steal it.
53-51. somebody is going to have to play big minutes off the bench for Cuba at some point. We haven't seen Avila since her cameo in the first half. Now, Jovanovic comes up with a steal. Kendo with the turnover. And Serbia bench imploring their teammates to get out and get after it. Krnjic backs up Noblet, and with the soft hand, with the quick little Radicaj almost snuck in there and got the ball. And instead, Butlia commits the foul, and that's free throws for Cuba.
Krnjic needs to finish first and foremost, but with this lineup on the floor, Radicaj is needed to generate offense. You know, you look around, yeah, Milovanovic is a good offensive player, but she relies on the others a little. You know, Radicaj has to be the playmaker, the one that makes things happen for everybody else. In the moment, she's been a little too passive for me, you know, especially considering how good she's been in some of the other games.
Well, Krnjic hasn't really gotten on track offensively. She came in shooting 33% from the floor. And the free throw is good. Krnjic is 0 of 2 from the field tonight, so that percentage has only gotten worse. Gellis ties it up again. Now Amargo with some full court pressure and a little trap. Radicaj saw it, and Amargo with the foul. She has 4 fouls, and that was a very soft foul. And we have talked at length about the problem that she has with the foul trouble.
Look at the hands. See, she's got both hands. She had the right hand out. That slipped off the hip, and then she put the left hand out. She has to learn. The referees have called her repeatedly through this tournament for that same thing.
Well, it takes their best shooter off the floor, and it also puts Radicaj at the line and allows Serbia to go back in front.
Amargo's the 3rd highest scorer in this tournament. You know, 15.7 a game. She's been the top 3 scorers. She led them against Australia. She led them against Belarus. She was 3rd against Korea for them. You know, she's so important to what they want to do.
On the other hand, it brings the speedy Gonzalez back on the floor. Casanova, and she finds Pavea. So, yeah, in one sense, actually, they get more quickness on the floor.
Oh, Casanova's done a very good job against the pressure. She really has. 5 assists, 3 turnovers.
Oh, Radicaj. I think she must have heard you say that she needs to start showing that offense. She's attacking more. And Romero is going to come in for Oquendo. And I think Zabala's doing a pretty good job with the foul trouble of bringing players in. Don't you?
Yeah,
Romero just came in.
I mean, he's got to manage the minutes. It's going to be a difficult task for him.
Well, Milovanovic has to step in. She misses, and Noblet gets in there, and Butlia picks up the 4th foul.
Now Serbia's time to commit some questionable fouls. And Butlia trying to get a steal under the basket. It's going to give 2 fouls, 2 free throws to Noblet on the other end.
Butlia's down the bench. Now, Kato brings some defense, and she's also got the ability to score. Noblet misses the first. At the free throw line, Cuba have done a good job today. They're 9 of 11, and Serbia as well, 15 of 17. And you don't need to say this, it's big. These are big ones. So she makes 1 of 2. Zavala was just telling his bench to get up and make some noise. Kato left open, but she doesn't look for the shot. Jovanovic. Now Kato in the corner. Go! Well, by design. Now quickly, Casanova. Can she beat Radicaj off the floor? Radicaj got back, but good play by Casanova to get 2 of those points back, and it's a tie game.
Again, the Serbian defense, that's what it forces you to. It gives you an opportunity to score. If you take it, it's very good. If you miss, you're given an opportunity for them.
Oh, how in the world did Noblet not get that ball? Milovanovic goes up against Noblet. And Noblet this time says, I'm going to get the ball, as he gets it in the corner. And Gellis is fouled either by Adjikovic. Yes, Adjikovic. So Adjikovic has had some struggles, but that's her first foul tonight.
There's a poor one. Yep, she's trying to get the steal, but again, you know, it's points for Cuba. It's the second time in the last minute they've fouled literally on the baseline.
And they've also put the Cubans back on the free throw line. So far, Cuba, incredibly, have not lost a player to fouls because they've been in foul trouble. And Gellis puts Cuba back in front. It just seems like their whole mentality changed by beating Korea. The Cubans just seem to kind of lifted pressure off of them to get to this stage of the competition, and they just seem to be playing with a lot of self-belief. And Pavea doesn't want to pick up a foul there. Now Radicai gets it over to Milovanovic. Radicai goes right at Romero, gets inside, puts up, and Romero blocks it. Now Romero gets it over to Gellis. Over to Pavea. Good! And the Cubans go back in front by 4. Now Radicai. 4 on the shot clock. 3. Radicai gets back inside over to Adjikovic, and Adjikovic hits a jumper at the buzzer. That was a bonus for Serbia. But they trailed 62-60. Great play here at the end for them. So 3 quarters now in the books. 10 minutes to go. Who's going to win and play Turkey in the quarterfinals? Well, the game continues to be pretty even. It's interesting that Cuba have got the 14 assists and just 7 for Serbia.
Well, what we've seen from both teams is, you know, the one-on-one play. There's not been a lot of three-point shots in the game because of the way they play defense. The pressure from both teams is giving up layups or giving up quick shots to both teams, and it's made for a very open game. I mean, that last 30 seconds really sums it up. Cuba come down, they beat the pressure to have an open jump shot, and then Serbia do exactly the same. So, you know, the fouls are still a factor for Cuba, especially here these first couple of minutes, you know, because realistically, Cepeda with 14 points and 6 rebounds, and Amargo with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, are arguably the most influential players on the Cuban team. So are they going to be able to play without them on the floor, or when they come back, are they going to be able to play on the floor without picking up their 4th?
(62-60), Cuba in front against Serbia, and I think most observers would suggest this is a mild upset in the making. Well, a possible mild upset if Cuba hold on to win.
Looks like a zone from Serbia here.
Gellis.
It's a turnover.
The ball goes off of Romero.
Very good from Cardo. She couldn't steal it, but she batted it against Romero, gave her no chance to catch it.
And Romero has to be careful not to pick up the foul. Romero is playing tough defense. She had that block of the Radicai shot. Cardo goes up against Gellis. Gellis has to watch the hands of Casanova on Dabovic. 4 on the shot clock. They're going to have to put up a long one, and it's going to be Dabovic, and it's an air ball, and that goes over to Cuba.
Poor start, poor offense from Serbia there, really. very tentative. I don't know whether this close game is surprising them. You know, it is a knockout.
I think
do
it
or
is.
die, yeah.
I think it's probably surprising a lot of people. Casanova over to Gellis. And Gellis back outside to Casanova, quickly to Romero, but that's going to be off. But so Pavea was there for the follow, and the ball goes out of bounds. And Zavala gives his assistants to the call, saying it's our ball.
Well, coaches, refs, plays, he does everything, doesn't he, Coach Zavala? Feels like he's out there on the floor playing anyway.
So a new shot clock for Cuba, not that they need it. And Gellis goes up, and perhaps that time was in a little bit of a rush, although she did have an opening. Milovanovic for three, good!
She's been struggling with the three-point stroke. Milovanovic, she was 0 of 2 before that one, coming off the 0 for 4 night against China.
Now Gellis puts up a jumper, and suddenly Gellis is trying to do a little bit too much here, too quickly.
And the problem is, you know, Okindo isn't on the floor.
Yep.
Amargo isn't on the floor.
So they take away the penetration.
Cepeda isn't on the floor to rebound and recycle possession, so responsibility has gone on to Gellis. That's why she's having to force the action.
Almost a turnover there for Ana Dabovic. And offensive foul called on Ana Dabovic for, I think, swinging her elbow, forearm.
She awaits the replay. I'm sorry, that's a bad call. The Cuban player had the hands on the hips of Dabovic. She's just knocked the hands away. If anything, it should be a defensive foul.
Well, it helps Cuba because they go back in front.
Again, the gamble from Dabovic. Casanova breaks the pressure and finds a good pass.
And that foul is on Romero. And now Dabovic is going to have a look at the other referee.
It's because it's exactly the same thing. Watch the hands, look, and Dabovic pushes them off. I think that's what happened on the last call as well. Again, Casanova, what we didn't see on the replay was she beat the pressure.
Dabovic gets inside, was denied. Adjakovic was there, and she's picking a good time to start making an impact on this game.
Adjakovic, for me, is the best finisher on the inside for Serbia.
And Noblet tries to use the power game. Gets it back, goes up strong, and earns a trip to the free throw line. And Okindo is going to come back in for Cuba.
Okindo only has 3, so she should be okay. Until she picks up the 4th anyway.
That foul was on Kato, that's her 3rd. Noblet. Oh, good play by her. She's hit the jumper, and now she's come down and gotten to the free throw line. And also, you know, these players are buying the Cubans that have foul trouble time. I'm not sure this group would be able to go ahead and finish it out and win it, but at least it allows them to shorten the game. And now the turnover. Dabovic loses it to Casanova, and Casanova was just a little too slow in making the pass, and she has now picked up her 3rd foul.
There's nothing in the middle of Casanova, does she? A brilliant play on one end, a terrible one on the other. So she gets a great steal, turns it over, and then commits a foul.
And Dabovic gets inside.
It's a tough pull-up. Dabovic, you know, hand in the face, but it doesn't matter. She looked off balance. She's having another big game, isn't she? 17 points now.
Gellis working up top. Okindo thought about it. Now Noblet goes against Adjakovic. She gets it to Pavea, but Dabovic knocks it away, and Cuba can't get a shot, and you do wonder if Margo is going to come back in. We'll see Cepeda come back in.
Best thing about that Serbian possession, they didn't foul. You know, Noblate tried to attack the ring. Adjikovic that time stood her ground, didn't try to reach in, didn't try to get the block, but just held firm.
And another foul called on Casanova. That's number 4.
Number 5, Casanova, 4th personal foul,
and Romero is going to enter the game for Casanova. So 2 quick fouls from Casanova bring the lightning bolt out. Milovanovic on the baseline misses, and Cepeda gets another rebound. Cepeda has 14 points and 7 rebounds, and Gallus goes in for an and 1. Wow.
Finish from Gallus. Adjikovic probably should have, you know, she shouldn't foul in this situation. Gallus hasn't been an exceptional finisher through the tournament, and she's put her to the line whether she makes it or miss. You know, and actually the contact may have helped her make it.
Gallus doesn't convert the 3-point play opportunity. 76% now as a team, but Noblet steps up and intercepts the pass. That was for Adjikovic. Romero, a quick 3 from her.
Romero's a good 3-point shooter, so, you know, not the worst option, as long as they can get back and stop Serbia.
Dabovic, though, just goes right down the lane and scores. Dabovic is having another exceptional game. She's got 19 points. Now Gallus has a 5-point swing, really. Consider the Romero 3 didn't go down. Romero back to Noblet. Oh, beautiful play from Cuba, and Cepeda doesn't make the shot, but you've got to appreciate the passing.
It was a beautiful execution. Cepeda with a great movement as well. Very, very good. How close is that to falling?
Kato with 4 fouls now. And Cepeda now goes to 15 points. She's played 22 minutes, and she's got the foul trouble. She's got 4 fouls, so she has to be careful defensively. With 5:39 remaining, because she's without question their best rebounder. And Noblet reaches in and fouls Milovanovic.
We have a lot of free throws here. Both teams now in the bonus, so the next foul for either team will be shots.
Why make that foul? 4. That's her, Noblet's first, but the 4th team foul. Milovanovic just takes it all the way. He gives it to Adjikovic. I'm not sure that strategy is going to work.
That's the beauty
Cuba
with Milovanovic and her versatility. Because the guards are being pressured, they just let her bring it down. You know, she's an inside player essentially for the Serbian team that can handle it under pressure.
Well, the pressure allows Cuba to get some space. And, oh, Cepeda almost picked up another foul. And they have called a big break there, because she also, I think, has to go out. She's got a contact issue. She's asking the referee to call a timeout just to say let her put her contact back in her eye. Boy, how she didn't pick up the foul there. It looked like she barged right in. Watch. Yeah. Watch Cepeda. Ooh. She was living dangerously. And great defense from Adjikovic.
Got numbers, Serbia. Going to slow it down.
Serbia on top by 2. When will Amargo? Yeah, she's going to come in now. Yamara Amargo, midway through the quarter.
Milovanovic is open.
She's going to take the 3. She had a hand in the face. And Kato was able to bat it back outside to Dabovic. Remember, both teams now in the bonus. The switch Dabovic reads it. They're trying to force Dabovic to her left. She goes to her left, puts up a shot, and Noblet and Milovanovic put the pressure on, but the call goes for Cuba. Now Amargo comes back in for Romero, so good minutes from Romero. She missed the shot, but timeout has been called also by Serbia. They lead it 71-69.
Znači šorca, jedan, raznovrsno i onda da napadamo. Raširite se maksimalno, krenuli su da iskaču na pik, raširite se, tražite loptu, tiđe dole, unutra. Saša non stop na skoku napadu kao sada, non stop. Ajde da imamo drugu šansu svaki put. Treba nam ova odbrana, 4 gola, ajde! Upadajte, Srbija!
Well, if you can speak Serbian, you know what she said. I can't tell you, but I'm guessing. Let's play hard, let's rebound, let's play defense, and
well, let's minimize mistakes. It's the most important thing. They don't want any breakdowns defensively, so no cheap fouls, no and ones. Make sure they control their defensive rebound, and then surely they'll look to isolate. Dabovic has been that good. Get the ball into her hands, space it out.
Gellis spins away from the double team, over to Amargo for three, right off the bench, no good. And Adjakovic with the rebound.
Fantastic tip from Ana Dabovic there, sneaking inside, tipped it into the hands of Adjakovic to collect the rebound.
Now Dabovic gets inside. Milica Dabovic gives it to Adjakovic. And boy, she's really coming in strong now, Adjakovic.
Makes you wonder, really. She hasn't played a lot of minutes up until now.
Boy, and that is number 5 on Kato, so she has fouled out of the game and also given Cuba an opportunity to go to the free throw line.
Well, pressure's great. Pressure creates steals. Pressure gets you turnovers. But if you're going to foul, there's no pressure at all. It's the one thing you can guarantee. Fouling is going to break the pressure. It'll put the other team on the line or give it to them on the side.
Saw that replay by Adjakovic. She gets it down low. She's pretty tough. But now it's all about Gellis. And Gellis has really been able to put the disappointment of that finish against Belarus behind her when she missed 2 late free throws that probably would have clinched the win for Cuba. And she makes both. And the pressure, she's got 16 points as well now. She and Cepeda each leading the way. Noblet, Dabovic floats in, and the pressure doesn't work for Cuba.
Tough shot from Dabovic. Usually those pull-up shots like that are harder ones to hit than a layup, but she seemed to like it, went to it.
But Amargo not able to get away from Dabovic. Here she is. She gets the ball. And Noblet now, Gellis, pump fake. Gellis short, and 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And Serbia now with a chance to build their lead. Their biggest lead has been 7. They're now on top by 4. Five on the shot clock.
Space for Dabovic.
She pulls up for the jumper, and good box out from Amargo. And now Cuba, thought they may have had numbers, but Gellis calls the play. Oh, Gellis. Oh, beautiful pass from Gellis, and Cepeda can't finish. Boy, you really got to appreciate Gellis. It looked like she was going left, and all of a sudden she just darted right. The foul by Ana Dabovic, 3 fouls on her. Watch this. Well, you didn't see the change in direction, but it was something else. Timeout on the floor, 75-71 Serbia.
echándose para atrás, ¿entendido? Cuando vengamos para acá es final. Hoy a la final como es, hoy a la Lenny, más ley.
So, as you look at the assist, are you surprised by that timeout?
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's their ball. They've been playing pretty well. They've got free throws off, and you don't call a timeout before the free throw unless you're going to talk about the defensive possession and what you're going to do. I don't think that's really been the case. So yeah, it's a surprising one for me. But you know what I would like to say is the Cubans have battled this foul trouble very well. You know, nobody's fouled out yet. We're now getting into that stage of the game, 2:44. Or even if they do foul out, you know, it's not really going to impact the game bar 1 or 2 possessions, unless of course, you know, multiple people do foul out. Now they've rotated. Noblet's come in, has played some good minutes, and yeah, it hasn't really been a factor too much for Cuba as we thought it may well become.
Bobo Cepeda and Gellis with 16 points, Amarga with 15, but she has no points in the second half. Milovanovic has 13 points and 19 for Ana Davidovic. Cepeda makes the first. Her level has just been phenomenal, really, for the last couple of games. Cepeda, 17 points, 7 rebounds now, 18 points, and back to a 2-point game. Noblet, full court pressure on Milovanovic, and a foul on Noblet. So free throws now for Milovanovic. Milovanovic at the line tonight. She is 2 of 2.
At the line for 2, Jelena Milovanovic.
Saw the foul. And now you get to see the free throws. So just as it cost Serbia, it could end up costing Cuba. And why you would foul with, you know, trailing by 2. So anyway, she makes both. Serbia, Milovanovic and Serbia go back in front by 4. Gellis. Gellis catches the pass on the baseline, gets inside, hands it off, and Oquendo goes up strong and one. Boy, Gellis just does so much with her penetration. It is scary.
I mean, she's just quick, isn't she? That's all it is. There's no real skill. It's not like she's got a great crossover. We see that little hesitation there, which is exceptional, but just that raw pace is so difficult to guard.
But she doesn't make the free throw. So it's still a 2-point game. And the foul was on Adjakovic at the other end. Now Dabovic. Milovanovic for 3, and she's now 1 of 5 from 3-point range. Cuba couldn't get the rebound, so well, say one thing about Milovanovic, she keeps putting them up. I would guess that this would be plan 1 right here, plan A. Get the ball to Dabovic now and let her go to work. She pulls up for the jumper. Good!
It's a tough move. You know, it's her go-to, really. The little fake spin, pull up off one dribble going to the left. You don't really see her going right and pulling up very often, but very, very good.
4 points to lead. Look at Dabovic with the release. And Cuba now with 1:50 to go. Casanova back in the game. Amargo comes up top. She puts the ball on the floor, drives in. Tough shot for Amargo, and she makes it. Her first basket of the second half.
It was a great roll, wasn't it? Amargo, you know, she really has shown that ability that we didn't see in the first couple of games. Off the drive, off the curl. And what a finish to this one.
It is indeed. Milovanovic goes around Noblet and just has an easy one. Cepeda couldn't go for the block because he's got the 4 fouls. Casanova to Amargo for 3. Off the back of the rim, Cepeda. Yet another rebound for her. Casanova into Noblet, and she is fouled from behind by Milovanovic. Milovanovic says, what am I supposed to do? He saw her a little lean, I think, and that's why he called it. But it's tough. I mean, if you're down there playing defense, what are you allowed to do? Three-point game. Noble. Of course, she's had a central role in this game, hasn't she?
Well, from the line, she's very good. 83% coming in. A little off. Just 4 of 6 though today.
Butalia brings it in, back outside to Dabovic, and that is not what Cuba want to see.
She's got the mismatch. Someone's got to go help. They can't leave Noble guarding her.
Well, she passes over to her sister in the corner, and Milica gets into the lane and puts up a layup patiently. Less than a minute to go, and Serbia's still on top by 4. Gelis puts up a tough shot. Adjakovic blocks it, but Amargo was able to get it in the corner, and she throws it off of Milovanovic. And Zabala is going to burn a timeout. Saw the heads-up play there by Adjakovic and by Amargo. But Cuba running out of time. 43.9 seconds remaining.
They need a good shot on this one. However it is, 2 or a 3, it doesn't really matter. You've got to get a good, clean look at the basket. For me, into the hands of Gelis, spread the floor. Maybe Amargo coming off some sort of screen action as you're leaving that space for Gelis to attack. Maybe that high pick and roll that we saw in the first half with Amargo on the same side. Gelis is going because then if any help comes to stop her, she can pitch it out for the shot.
Cuba haven't really done much damage at all from three-point range. You know that Amargo can let them fly. Serbia have not either. Both teams have done overall pretty well, although Cuba missed a few free throws here in the fourth quarter. That timeout was called by Cuba, not Serbia, but by Cuba. So they've got one timeout left. And Casanova is going to inbound the ball, and you can see the looks in the eyes of Cuba. I mean, they're nervous. You know, they know that with under a minute to go here, with 43.9 seconds remaining, they are teetering on the edge. And Serbia also, you can see in their eyes, they know that they're within touching distance of the quarterfinals. Gelis brings it up, puts up a tough shot, misses, she keeps it alive, the ball goes out of bounds, and Cuba will retain possession with a new shot clock, although I don't think they'll need much time to get this off.
Great defense from Dabovic. You know, we've said how quick Gelis is. She kept her in front though.
Casanova. Amargo trying to get free of Dabovic. Goes to Noble. Noble over to Cepeda, pump fake, and gets in for the layup. Oh, she missed it, but Noble has been a warrior. She goes up, and the ball goes out of bounds off of Noble. Wow. You would have figured Cepeda would have made that layup. Look at this. 14 seconds. They've got to commit the foul. They've got to foul. And Casanova fouls Dabovic with 9.1 seconds remaining. And Cuba have played, to be honest, they played very well tonight. And they played like the FIBA Americas champions. But Serbia, especially the Dabovic's and some big plays from Adjakovic, they've just done enough. But it looks like Cuba's left their hearts in Havana.
Oh, they've still got to make some free throws here, and you know, with Amargo on the floor, don't discount Cuba quite yet. 4 points.
It's going to take something special. This is the first. Second one is good. And the final timeout has been called here. And I wouldn't be surprised if Serbia even fouled.
No.
It's unlikely, though.
I think.
You think they'll just play defense and let them attempt a three?
Probably with 9.1 remaining, because even if they make a three, if you guard it pretty well, you can take probably 2 seconds, 3 seconds off the clock. And therefore, when you get it in, you're down to 5 seconds at worst. You'll be up 2 at the line. And you back yourself to go 2 of 2, make it a 2-possession game again with 5 seconds to go. So I don't think it's needed yet, but you know, if you do foul, you ensure that they can't hit a 3.
Well, they would like desperately to find Amargo to shoot the 3. Get her to shoot the 3, call the timeout, but Serbia, I suppose in a way as well, you don't want to foul the 3-point shooter. They don't have time though, they got to put it up. Romero puts it up and goes off the backboard, off the rim. And another foul called on Cuba. And Serbia are going to win this game. Cuba have given us a real treat the last couple of days. Not only beating Korea, but coming out here and really pushing Serbia hard. But Serbia, the Serbia story just continues to live on. How far can they go, and what will Turkey make of this Serbia team?
Well, I'm sure Turkey won't be relishing playing the Serbians, that's for sure. You know, coming off a good Eurobasket, as we talked about. You know, they finished 4th, 10 of those players back. And much improved in this core of Serbians. You know, still got a lot of years left in them. If you think, you know, Radicaj, Ana Dabovic, Milovanovic, Jovanovic, Adjikovic, all 26 years of age or under.
Well, Turkey beat Serbia last year at the Eurobasket in the bronze medal game, and they're going to get a chance to face them again. Serbia have seen off a very brave and spirited Cuban team, 86-79. Well, they lost 2 games, Cuba. They bounced back, especially one of those defeats in excruciating fashion to Belarus. They bounced back to beat Korea, and they came out and played extremely well tonight. They did a good job of representing the FIBA Americas. They won the FIBA Americas Championship last year, and to go down the way they've gone down tonight, it's going to take something to get over the disappointment. But Serbia, again, you know, nowhere really on the basketball map, at least it felt like last year at the Eurobasket Women, after losing their first 2 games. Here they are in the quarterfinals of the FIBA World Championship for women. And now, not only will they have to take on Turkey, but they're going to have to take on the biggest crowds, really the only crowds at this FIBA World Championship for women. I mean, they're going to have everybody pulling against them. But tonight, what do you think, looking at those stats, stands out for you?
Well, first of all, credit to Cuba. You know, when they look back on this tournament, they'll see it as a success, I think. And they'll be disappointed but proud of the performance they put on the floor today. You know, looking at the statistics, Serbia, what I can tell you, is not in the statistics. This team, more than any other, will love playing against Turkey and will love playing with 10,000 people in attendance, because this is the type of team that loves to shop the world. You can see, you know, playing the US was great for them. They lived up to the billing, and I think, you know, this is the Serbian team which will come prepared for Turkey and look forward to playing them.
Well, you know, Turkey also have great guards, Isilolman among them, and they, you know, they will know that they've got a battle coming up, and they better be prepared. They've had the luxury of being able to watch them tonight. But look at Ana Dabovic, continues to excel. Milica Dabovic was tough tonight. Boy, she hit some tough shots. And, you know, Milovanovic continues to be a big player for them, as well as Butaliha. Everybody does for Marina Malkovic. It's been a treat to watch them. It's been special to watch Cuba, and it's been a joy working with you, Lloyd. Thanks very much.
Same to you.
Number number 9, the position. Number 5 is Elias Casanova. Big personal final wishes. And the support of the Game Serbia. This is FIBA Basketball World Championship.